Raiders, this is Ezra, and welcome to my Deliana account, Bastion. Hopefully you like the new intro graphic or animation I made. Let me know about that in the comments. I will say then, the third day of the account was quite huge, and I attribute that to the login reward gloves that we get. Now, it's very common, all of these rewards you get are fixed, not even common. And what you get on the third day are lifesteal gauntlets. The other thing to know about this is, let me go pull up Kael, is that they are always crit rate percentage main stat. And that's huge because it helps with damage output incredibly whenever you crit. Now, as far as I can tell, the main stat and the substats are always the same. You don't always roll the same when you upgrade. I managed to get 2 rolls into attack percentage, which is nice because then Kael will hit quite a bit harder. Maybe would have been nice to get speed instead of hit point percentage, but overall pretty happy with those rolls. Between getting these gloves and then figuring out that you can upgrade past level 8 level 8 gear before your level 25 account level. I rolled up, all of the stuff that I got and put all the resources I could into Kael gear. I still have a quite garbage piece of lifesteal shield just to complete the set. And then made sure that he was ascended as much as possible. With that, I could roll into the campaign and make a whole lot of progress. So I finished the entirety of normal campaign, and now I am into stage 4 of hard. When I get a little bit more energy or use some from maybe login rewards, my goal is to get to either Palace of Aravia or the Deadlands in hard and start farming there a lot. Part of that is to get, I really need a War Maiden out of the Deadlands, or speed gear, or the rare drop champions out of the Palace of Aravia. Either of those would help this account a whole lot. That should also get me more stars in the hard campaign. If you'll notice when you go to normal, 189 in. One of the big deals is at 180 stars, you get 3 rare skill tomes, which I sank right into Kael to help with his damage output. For those of you who are on shard pulling accounts, getting this Void shard can be a big deal. Void champions tend to be stronger than normal champions, and if you get a strong one here, it can make a big difference to your account. It's also possible you get Harrier or someone who's not super useful. But, most people early on, these first couple of Void shards can make a big difference if you get a really solid champion. So at this point, basically, I am in the food grinding mode. Kael's level 40 and ascended. I've got 1, 2, and then 2 partial 3 stars. They will end up being food. I just need to grind up all of these other champions to get them there. I will say I was surprised at War Priest. She was sort of a big help even in this bad gear. In some of the waves that had a lot of Force Affinity champions, I didn't remember her being very good from my first time through the game. But just because of how limited I am of champions on this account, I'm gonna keep her here at least for a little while just to see how she does. The other thing to be aware of here is that I have started to collect fusion champions and other guaranteed drops or farmable champs that I might need later. One of the other weaknesses of this account and only using guaranteed champions is it's not so easy to get voids. What I think I'm going to have to do is after I get to level 60, go into one of these guaranteed fusions and either get a just a card, because I'm going to have to do that anyway, or get one of these two Void Affinity champs just to ensure I have one. Sooner or later, there are advanced quests that have things like fighting the arena with a champion of every affinity, and so you need a Void champion to handle those things. I think Broadmaul also will be my Reviver, assuming I can get him significantly before I get Sile of the Drakes at the 180-day login. The other thing to know about is these two champions are not directly fusible for Broadmaul, but they are achievable via the Tag Team Arena Bazaar. I can't quite get in there yet, but that unlocks at level 35. So once you get to level 35, I think it's really important for every account to, at least do your daily minimum fights there for Tag Team Arena tokens. You can get either gear or energy, and those two champions that basically have made Broadmaul into a guaranteed fusion. And the other benefit is that Broadmaul does not go away after you fuse him, so you can do that as many times as you want if you're looking for books or you just need other Void Epic champions. So I've got a little bit more of the day left. I'm going to go continue to grind out, and then I'll post probably an end of day update very shortly. So stand by. And now I'm back with my end of day update. I think the important thing here is the novice tournament ended, and as you can see, I did not win. I got third place, which gets you some amount of rewards. As soon as the screen draws, we'll see what that is. So I end up with an extra rare book, which is pretty nice. I don't know, for whatever reason, final positions are still being calculated. But the important thing is that you get these 4 pieces of 5-star speed gear. Now, I don't know if they are all the same or if they are generated independently, but we're going to go look at that very, very shortly when I talk about gear. And so then this finalized, and I do end up with a rare book, which is nice. I will say I think this Pro 100 Sham, with 3,200 points for the shard is really good. Also, getting the 75 gems would be awesome. I guess I was relatively close for that. I will say I used a lot more energy than I thought I would, so my hat is off to the two of you for doing well. Before we go look at gear, because I think that's going to be a little discussion point, I am going to say that I was able to get to the Palace of Aravia on hard. I think it's going to be a bit difficult for me to get through Hillshire or the Valdemar Strait because of affinity issues. But I'm going to farm up a bunch of food and work on getting Kael ranked up to 5-star here. Primarily because on hard you have the ability to get 4-star speed gear. So getting some 4-star speed boots would be awesome. It's the campaign, so you can only get, common and uncommon, but you need gear to get gear. So we're doing a little bit of farming there for speed boots, as well as potentially some of these other items to get to 4-star. Would help the account, and you would use it for reasonably long, so you don't feel too bad about spending silver upgrading it. Unlike you, it's almost a waste to do it to 2- and 3-star gear. So that's where I also wanted to bring back, once you get to hard campaign, Raid has made it easy to get rid of all of the gear that you got from farming the normal campaign or, other odd drops. And that's because in the filter here, we have the rank and rarity filter. So we can do all the 1 and 2 stars that are common or uncommon. That's 220 pieces of gear I have out of the 278 pieces total. So it is most of it, but really these things, unless you got it really early in the game and you just needed to finish specific gearing quests, are sort of wastes of silver to try to upgrade. So I'm going to get rid of all of mine. Selected 220. That's $250,000 silver. So, you know, in theory, that's enough to get an artifact you want to use, you know, to maybe level 12, which is nice. And then it frees up a bunch of inventory space, bringing my total to 58 artifacts. Honestly, even ones like this, I'm going to sell. I don't see that I would ever spend silver enrolling that, but, you know, we'll see. And then it leaves us with enough things that we can either complete sets or see what else we need to do in terms of the gearing quest submissions, because some of them are a little odd and ask you to do things like, you know, put attack percentage boots on an attack champion. Not something you would necessarily naturally do in the game, but it is something that you would do to complete a quest. So you keep some gear around for that. Now, I'm going to check the new filter, because here are the speed set items we got. I just want to see how they look. You know, normally you want always speed sets to have a speed substat, but with accuracy, this could be okay for a debuffer in early accounts. Not a lot of help there. Ooh, this is quite good, even with poor substats, so flat attack and flat defense. The fact that it's crit rate, once you roll this to level 16, is a 50% crit rate. So I will use that until I get something better. Yeah, and then the boots, you know, honestly not so awesome. Builds with defense or offense percentage. Boots are kind of end game, and it requires you to have good substats. So, you know, really just even getting this one piece from the novice tournament, I'm actually quite happy about. And then theoretically, we have 2 slots. We get something like speed or crit damage or hit point percentage or something that's a little bit more useful than flat attack and flat defense. But just having a good main stat, honestly, for this level of an account and this, you know, new of a raid journey is pretty good. So check back again. You'll probably see those gloves in the future. The only other thing I wanted to talk about before I end for today is you look at your challenges and missions. I try to keep up on these as much as possible, just because early on it can be a good source of energy or silver, but you spend so much time. I didn't remember, again, it's been so long since I did these, you know, in the normal campaign and all like that. You know, it's not necessarily the most efficient use of your energy to spend a lot of time in normal if you've unlocked the hard campaign. But I do these as much as possible, especially for items like this where you get gems or any other reward. I think, you know, makes these well worth it. So don't get too behind on your progress missions. After GMT midnight tonight, I will get my next artifact, which is the 4-star lifesteal helm. So hopefully that will be good. I can use it somewhere. I'm actually really looking forward to the weapon because it's 5-star, and then soon Deliana. I'll get to start using her and demonstrate how you can. I think she's going to be very good for progression and make, you know, getting up to speed and getting caught up on a new account relatively easy. So I have a plan for that, and we will talk about it when we get there. So, you know, drop a like, subscribe if you already haven't. Let me know what you think about this progress. You know, 3 days in and level 26 with a 4-star, I think is getting there. And hopefully we will have Kael ranked up to 5-star shortly, and we'll see how far we can push him. Thanks for your time, and thanks for watching. This is Ezron signing off.